Hi and welcome to cliphack.co.uk. My name is Emily and today I'm going to be sharing some tips for all of you first timers who are going to buy your very first set of extensions. The points I will be mentioning in this video are quite important to know before you purchase your extensions, so if you're still a little bit unsure about a few things about extensions, please keep on watching this video. Of course, there are a few different basic things we need to figure out before we actually pick out a set of extensions, and first up we need to figure out the length, because you can use extensions for two purposes. One of them can be volume and one of them can actually be length. If you're in the purpose of volume, you want to go for something that is the same or a length longer than your own hair. If you are in for like the length purpose, you want to go for maybe 1 or 2 sets longer than your own hair, so it still looks really natural and blends nicely with your own hair when you put the extensions in. You also need to figure out what kind of set you want to get. So on this website we have something called a full head and a double wefted full head. So that basically means if you have thin or thinner hair, you want to go for the full head, because that basically means it is a single weft per weft, where the double wefted full head are basically 2 wefts put together per weft, which means the double wefted are a lot more volume and a lot more thick. So if you have really thick hair, for sure go for that set of extensions. But if you have really thin hair, you want to go for the just full head. And that way it also makes sure that your hair and your extensions are blended nicely together and that it is the same thickness throughout the entire thing, and it looks a lot more natural that way. As a first timer, you're probably wondering what type of extensions you should get, because there are quite a few different types out there. And personally, I would say you should go for a clip-in, because it is a semi-permanent solution, so that way you get to know how it feels to have extensions in, but you don't need to have them in 24/7. Of course, throughout the time you will not notice that you're wearing extensions because you will be getting used to it, but at the first few weeks you are probably a little bit unsure because it feels strange having more hair on your head if you have never tried extensions before. Some people are also wondering if clip-ins can actually damage your hair or the hair growth of your own hair. Typically no, because it is a semi-permanent solution, so you should not sleep with them. You should just wear them when you are awake and just maybe in your everyday life. But you always need to take them out before you go to bed, so they shouldn't really damage your hair. Only if you actually do really strange things with your extensions, of course they will do. So if you sleep with them a lot, or if you put them weird ways and just do a lot with them, of course that will cause a little bit of a hair loss maybe. So please bear that in mind, but in general they should not damage or stop your hair from growing. Please do not bleach them, because they are not attached to your actual cuticles, so they will not, as your normal hair, they will not receive the nourishment from your scalp. So please do not bleach them. But you can actually dye them a shade darker than what the actual extensions are. So if you buy a blonde set of extensions, but they are just a tiny bit too light, of course you can either tone them or you can dye them a shade darker. So yes, you can dye them, but do not bleach them, please. And in general, we say 10 to 15 uses, but of course it really depends on how much product you put in your extensions. So if you use a lot of hairspray, a lot of like oils and everything, that will build up in your extensions. So of course if you do that, you have to wash them a little bit more often. But if you are just maybe using a hot tool and just letting that be, then of course you don't need to do it as often. That also goes on to the next thing. In general, we also say that they last 6 to 12 months. Again, it really depends on how well you take care of them. So if you do use a good shampoo and conditioner and a great hair mask, they will last a lot longer. But if you don't really take care of them, so if you don't wash them and you just use a lot of product in them, of course it will not last as long. Some people also have the problem of their extensions kind of falling out because it doesn't really attach to the hair. And the good thing about clip-in extensions are underneath the clip there is this little rubbery material that will actually kind of make it even more secure in your hair, so they will not fall out. But if you have really thin hair and you still feel like that just doesn't cut it for you, you can always take a comb and just back comb the roots of your hair and then just clip it in, and that will make it even more secure. People are wondering if you can actually use heating tools on your extensions. You can if they are 100% removing human hair, but you still want to use a heat protector just to protect the hair, because you still need to take care of your extensions as if they were your own hair. And maybe also keep the heating down a little bit because you don't want to fry the hair. If you are still a little bit unsure on what exact product to get, you can always scroll down the website and find a little tab called customer reviews. You will find every single review made for every single product on this website. But if you have been eyeing out a specific set of extensions or a specific product, you can always go to that product again, scroll down a little bit, and there will be a little tab called customer reviews, and all the reviews on that site is only for that specific product. So that might also help you if you want outside review on the products. I really hope this video helped you, and I really hope to see you guys wearing your first set of extensions soon. So please remember to tag us on Instagram, and we really hope you have a great day, and until we see you guys next time. Bye!